Hello and welcome to the Central St Martin's BA Architecture degree show for Studio 3. I'm Harry from Stage 2 and I will be your host for this studio overview. This year the Studio 3 brief was Towards the Calais Commons and looked into the idea of the Commons as a catalyser for social change, aimed at improving local equality and sustainability around the Calais, a well-known high street within Islington, only 10 minutes walk from King's Cross. Each student was tasked to explore local resources around the Calais and to imagine how a common city would materialise architecturally. The students of Studio 3 would like to thank their tutors Tom Dobson and Carlotta Novella, as well as the course leaders for Stage 2 and 3, and all the tutors, guest critics and colleagues from other studios. Beara's project is titled Guardians of the Gardens. The Guardians of the Gardens project is about protecting and activating green spaces, as well as increasing resident ownership of the consequent spaces. Through her research, she has concluded that the lack of green spaces is one of the primary factors resulting in health deprivation of the residents. Her design strategy focuses on activating the gardens and increasing engagement with nature through collaborative working strategies. By doing so, the project is aimed at reducing the impact of poor living conditions that cause such decline in health of the residents of the Bermerton estate, which is one of the highest recorded deprived areas around the Caledonian Road. Jayu's project is titled the Calais Recycle Centre. The Calais Recycling Centre is a multifunctional building that uses recycling of local waste from different industries and services to develop spaces for commerce, accommodation, and education. While addressing the needs of local people for public space, it redistributes and transforms a former housing and commercial block into a series of workshops, business spaces, flats for artists and students, and most importantly, recycling facilities able to process from paper waste to construction waste to produce objects and infrastructures which will form their home in the Calais. In addition, the integration of local recycling systems improves the efficiency of local waste management and enables people to understand the processes of reuse, reduce and recycle on a neighbourhood scale. Jonathan's project is titled the Sea Youth Square. Located in Copenhagen Street, it aims to respond to the need of new spaces for training and creative development aimed at supporting the local Caledonian youth. Calais residents have held their community together despite being challenged by powerful outside forces, local regeneration, and slow processes of gentrification. Local young people have been greatly impacted by all of these changes, and currently the local authority is looking at creating new spaces for training and skills development. The project seeks to create a safe space which is central to Calais Road, which houses a series of key events and spaces aimed to support and inspire young people. Designing for local youth organisations such as the Copenhagen Youth Project or the Light Project Pro International, Sea Youth Square introduces a space for creativity within Calais which is accessible, engaging and flexible. Marie-Hélène's project is titled the Orkney Ruins. Her project focuses on Orkney House, where the council is proposing to build a commercial strip. This proposal is showing of the divide between the council's vision and reality. High crime and poverty rates, and by extension, it is emblematic of gentrification. She used her project to try and understand how this proposal could be reimagined, to move us towards a more socially driven, less hierarchical way of both building and existing in the city, blurring the boundaries of commons and capitalist spaces. The Orkney Ruins begins as a construction site. Users work together to create ornamented, handcrafted and 3D printed arches, which are over time embedded into the permanent landscape, slowly reclaiming and re-narrating the streets. Alongside the workshop, the street becomes a theatre space where the extension into the existing balconies become platforms for the users to engage with and participate in. The Orkney Ruins is performative, indirectly asking who we are building for, the metropolis or the people. Michelle's project is titled Clear the Air, and is a multi-purpose project that looks to re-establish healthy air pollution levels along the Caledonian Road, one of London's most polluted roads. It does this through the establishment of a research centre that looks to explore future green technologies, whilst also raising awareness of the severity of pollution levels to local communities, encouraging their involvement in improving local air quality. The project targets 3 main user groups: researchers, locals, and commuters, to establish a network of collaborating users in reducing air pollution levels. The main project building, which functions as a research centre and a crossover space between all users. The tower, functioning as a performative piece to raise awareness, and the Cali interventions, functioning as small temporary structures that look to encourage community engagement. The project is designed in a regenerative manner that is suitable for design for disassembly and the circular economy. This is achieved through the project's lightweight, modular and adaptable building system that can evolve as programmatic changes occur. Nancy's project is titled the Silkscreen Printing Workshop and is a multifunctional textile waste recycling community centre which helps Cali residents and businesses redefine their relationship with textile, waste and their neighbourhood. The project focused on textile waste in Cali and looks at ways to reduce, reuse and recycle textile in creative and communal ways. The rise of fast fashion has resulted in an increase in consumption, with products having a shorter life cycle and having huge impacts on the environment. This project hopes to create cycles of production which are responsible and explore how to consume rationally and deal with textile waste in a more localised way. Tony's project is titled the Module Distribution Hub and is a self-build strategy that allows Cali residents to create different forms of temporary structures and devices, aimed at reclaiming local streets by co-designing a set of modular systems which use reclaimed scaffolding components. The Module Distribution System Manual was designed to allow residents to take ownership of the system and customize it according to their needs. The manual is divided in sections, based on the different elements of the construction system. The manual is designed to be open source and easy access. The aim of the project is to open a conversation around the protection and celebration of common land in the Cali. The strategy reactivates unused streets for the public benefit by creating spaces of direct community engagement to facilitate co-production, collective governance, and co-authorship of a neighbourhood. Bruce's project is titled the Bemerton Library and is located in the context of the Bemerton Estate. The purpose of the building serves as a knowledge hub and a gathering space for people in the community to connect and learn and share skills amongst each other. It encourages the youth and the local residents to share their expertise and challenge the learning process, moving away from books but becoming more hands-on and practical. By introducing new forms and processes of learning, the project seeks to improve the living standards of the people at the Bemerton and the Cali. The building serves as both an enclosed space with workshops and library of tools, and an open space for people to visit and enjoy at any time of the day. The key intention behind this project is to challenge the ways in which conventional libraries work nowadays and whether we can add or change programs to enable the development of stronger and skillful communities. Christina's project is titled Towards the Cali Commons and aims to create a series of work cabins around Caledonian Road that are directly connected to local business. These cabins form a bridge between students aged 16 and above and business owners, a link that allows for a balanced exchange of knowledge. Through a placement program developed around these cabins, students can study, produce and collaborate with local business owners. However, once a student is not there, these cabins can be used as an office space and production space, thus allowing the owner to potentially expand their business or hold meetings. As a result, the project creates a system that benefits both the student and the business owners. Harriet's project is titled Plantshroom and is a network of green infrastructures supporting large-scale processing of food waste, communal food production, and knowledge sharing aimed at engaging the Bemerton Estate residents and local schools in learning about the potential of fungi and food waste as sustainable interventions. The project challenges and explores the role of mushrooms as the protagonist for social change. The strategy is comprised of an aerobic digester, a series of water and solar collection towers, a green cafe, education pods, a mushroom farm, and communal planters. The mycelium rainwater collection towers support the communal allotments through recycling of wastewater, increasing the crop yield, allowing the project to sustain the community kitchen and green cafe. My project is titled Caledonian.Commons and explores the idea of establishing a digital commons as a means of providing equality of knowledge, manufacturing, and autonomy to the disenfranchised members of the public who stand to become further isolated as digital fabrication and technology develop. The project focuses around the needs of three protagonists: the children, the tertiary e-worker, and the high street relics, all of whom have become isolated in the commons. It negotiates the existing infrastructure of Caledonian Road in order to allow each protagonist to reclaim physical space along the high street. The programme looks at reusing plastic waste from the local area to be used to create analogue and digitally fabricated craft items that can take advantage of modern digital fabrication techniques but are able to keep the bespoke craftsmanship and authenticity of handmade items. These items range from small handheld objects to larger fabricated objects and are created in digital and analogue workshops that are open to the public. The space also contains workspaces, social spaces, and classrooms to educate people around machines and technology. Stone's project is titled the Cali Park Pigeon Centre and is a public facility which creates spaces for humans to meet and engage with birds in an urban context. The project looks at pigeons and the practice of pigeon racing and the cultures around it, and tries to develop a space where local residents and visitors within the Cali can participate or become the audience for large-scale races and public gatherings. The infrastructure is comprised of an improved access to the existing clock tower, a visitor centre, and a pigeon training centre where the birds can feed and the local gardeners can collect the pigeons' excrements and use them for park allotments. Stephanie's project is titled the Cali Kitchen and encourages local residents of the Cali to grow their own produce, cultivate, preserve, and cook together through a shared facility in the heart of Cali. The strategy connects to the widely multicultural foods and food practices within the area, and it seeks to support practices of communality and conviviality through a number of site-specific infrastructures. The proposal is built around three spaces: a community garden in Bingfield Park, a storage and preservation unit in one of the disused garages at Bermerton Estate, and finally a collective cooking and dining space in Freeling Street. Tasnia's project is titled the Duckweed Commons and is a collective of different organisations in and around the Regent's Canal which share the management of duckweed and resources that emerge from it. Duckweed is a tiny, single natural plant which often appears as vast, green mats that cover surfaces of still water like ponds, flooded gravel pits and canals. The duckweed often causes problems to the environment, especially to the local wildlife, by reducing intake of light and oxygen within water and by damaging the engines of canal boats and other vessels. The project focuses on understanding the networks of stakeholders around the canal ecosystem, finding opportunities for the duckweed to become more productive, allowing common resources which are going to waste to be reclaimed and protected. The final proposal experiments with the production of edible items to be served at an on-site community restaurant, duckweed fertilizer, biomass fuel blocks, and natural insulation cladding systems. The project also tests technologies such as anaerobic digestion and harvesting of solar power, which support the whole system. Zoe's project is titled the Cali Colour Factory and looks at creating a space for local young people and families to explore the creative benefits behind the processes of natural dyeing and natural pigments. The factory is located in Bingfield Park, nearby the Bermerton Estate and not far from Crumbles Castle Adventure Playground. The proposal looks at introducing production, education and exhibition facilities which can make the natural dye craft more accessible and engaging.